I have a ton of LEGO Lord of the Rings minifigures, and whether it's my Army of Orcs or my Men of Rohan, these figures are incredible. Today, I will be making a top 20 list of my favorite Lord of the Rings minifigures I currently own. With that, make sure to go down below, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. And now on to the number 20 spot. Starting off this list at number 20, we have Gandalf. Now don't get me wrong, I love this figure, but the lacking of leg detail made it so that this figure went down to the bottom of this list. The version from the Tower of Orthanc where he gets his hair is also a super nice touch to finish off this figure. At number 19, we have Gimli. He is a great figure overall, and LEGO did very well by giving him an awesome helmet which sits nicely above his beard. The printing around his torso is great, and overall he is a very solid minifigure. In the number 18 spot, we have one of the new orcs from Barad-dûr. This is the one that has the more brownish arms, and I really love this orc a lot, and I'm super happy with what LEGO did for him. The helmet is great along with his double-sided head, and the printing all around the figure is also great. At the number 17 spot, we have Legolas. This figure is very good and depicts Orlando Bloom's character very well. The printing on this figure is very nice, and the elf hair part is a great add-on to this figure. In the number 16 spot, we have the Mordor Hunter Orc. Now these figures are awesome to army build, and as you can see here, I have plenty of them for myself. From the leg and torso details to the hairpiece, LEGO knocked this figure out of the park back in 2013. I highly recommend that if you don't own any Mordor Orcs in your collection yet, that you definitely pick up a few. They go for as cheap as 10 to 11 bucks and are more than worth it. In the number 15 spot, we have the Frodo minifigure from Barad-dûr. I very much so think this is the best iteration of Frodo besides for maybe the headpiece. But I really do think the torso printing and the dual molded legs are just amazing to finally get for the hobbits. At the number 14 spot, I put Lurtz. Now, as the one who leads the Uruk-hai into battle at Amon Hen, I had to make sure this figure had a spot on my list. Now, he may not have the most detailed legs, but I think we can look past that to see how great the torso and double-sided head prints really are. At the number 13 spot, we have another orc being the Uruk-hai Berserker. Now, it was really tough to decide whether Lurtz or the Berserker was in front of one another, but I think the Berserker just has the upper hand a bit more because of the details on his face. The head print is great, and the white hand of Saruman on the torso looks great on this minifigure. In the number 12 spot, we have the Rohan Soldier. I love this faction, and I've been able to collect 4 of these soldiers so far. The torso print is sweet, and the helmet specially made for these soldiers is why they are so far up on this list. At number 11, I have Boromir. I would have loved to have put this figure higher up for how good he is, but I think the rest of the figures just beat him out. The printing is extremely accurate to the movies, and the face print captures that iconic Sean Bean look. The shield is a great touch with a nice print on it as well. In the number 10 spot, we have the handprint Uruk-hai. This is definitely my personal favorite orc LEGO has made thus far. While it has the same overall parts as the other Uruk-hais, the hand-printed helmet and shield just make this figure perfect. At the number 9 spot, and this might surprise some of you, we have Grima Wormtongue. While this figure does get idolized because of its steep price tag, the figure itself isn't all that crazy. The basic black legs are kind of disappointing, but the rest of the figure is very nice and resembles the character extremely well. At the number 8 spot, we have Gothmog, who was introduced to us in the Barad-dûr set. I think LEGO knocked this figure out of the park, and that is probably the best representation they can get, besides for maybe a special molded head. The chestplate has great printing along with the overall character. In the number 7 spot, we have Haldir. This figure came out in the Helm's Deep set, and holy did LEGO do a good job. I mean, can we just take a second to appreciate the gold printing on that torso? Along with the nicely printed parts, Haldir wears a nice red cape and has the elf hairpiece. And before we crack into the top 5, coming in at number 6, we have Éomer. I know I'm biased for Rohan figures, but come on. We got a very nice printed torso and legs, along with a nice head. But then we get this awesome helmet like the Rohan soldiers, but with printing this time all around it. On top of that, you're getting a printed Rohan shield, which looks incredible, and one of the awesome dual molded spears. Before we get into the top 5, I do just want to say there really is no true answer, and it's more of personal preference for these top figures. So if you don't agree with my takes, let me know your top 5 figures down below in the comments. And to kick off our top 5, in the number 5 spot, we have the Mouth of Sauron from Barad-dûr. This figure is slightly upgraded from the original one and is quite literally perfect. The print detail is amazing, and I wouldn't want anything more. The head print is well done, and I just want to take a close-up look at this amazing helmet because it's very impressive how good of a job LEGO was able to do on it. In the number 4 spot, we have King Theoden. Just like I said with the Mouth of Sauron, I don't want anything more from a figure like this one. I also think this guy is just perfect. The chestplate gold detailing is very good, and the helmet is just so good. He comes with a printed Rohan shield, which is great, and the head print resembles Bernard Hill very well. Coming in at number 3, we have a figure I never expected LEGO to make, and that is Sauron himself. All I have to say about this figure is wow. The torso and leg prints are amazing, and the special molded helmet and armor piece is awesome. The mace he comes with is great, and I'm just so impressed with what LEGO was able to create. At number 2, we have Saruman. Now there's 2 versions of this figure, but this one here came out in the Tower of Orthanc set. The dress to torso print is quite literally seamless, and for that reason this figure is so high on the list. The printing is just great, and the hair and beard part is nicely printed too. The 2 face prints look great, and the staff he comes with is just sweet. And finally, I know some of you guys could probably have guessed it, but coming in at the number 1 spot, we have King Aragorn. Aragorn being my favorite character, I had to put him at the top of my list. The dual colored cape on this figure is one of few, and the printing all around is just amazing. Being able to recreate the 4 Frodo scene is one thing I eventually wanted to make a mock out of. Just overall amazing figure, and for this being made over 10 years ago is just so impressive. In case you guys couldn't tell from the 20 figures we just went over, LEGO Lord of the Rings has some of the most impressively detailed figures from LEGO. This list was very hard to make, and I put a lot of time into editing and making the list itself. Like I said before, if you guys disagreed with anything or want to tell me your own list, feel free to do so down in the comments. And with that, make sure to go down below, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you guys all in my next video. See ya.